Hey there, folks! Welcome to another deep dive into the fascinating world of economics. Tonight, we're diving into the wild world of money printing. It's a topic that often sparks curiosity and confusion. Now, you might think it involves giant printers churning out stacks of cash like a scene out of Ocean's 11. Picture those massive machines, the whirring sounds, and the fresh smell of ink. But the truth is a bit more complicated and less exciting. Sorry, it's not as glamorous as Hollywood makes it seem. Contrary to popular belief, most money printing doesn't actually involve printing physical bills. In fact, the majority of new money is created digitally. It's more like creating digital entries in bank accounts. Imagine a bank clerk typing numbers into a computer, and voila, new money is born. Think of it as adding zeros to a spreadsheet, except the spreadsheet controls a country's money supply. It's a high-stakes game of digital bookkeeping. So why do governments even bother with this whole money printing charade? What's the point of creating more money out of thin air? Well, it's all about managing the economy. Governments use money printing as a tool to influence economic activity. Sometimes a little extra cash flow can help boost economic growth, fund government projects, or provide emergency relief during crises. But hold your horses, it's not a free-for-all. Before you start dreaming of a world where everyone's a millionaire, let's talk about the potential consequences of printing too much money. It's a delicate balance. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. Hyperinflation, devaluation of currency, and economic instability are just a few of the risks. So while money printing can be a useful tool, it must be used wisely. Alright, let's meet the masterminds behind this whole money-creating operation, central banks. These institutions are like the referees of a country's financial system, responsible for maintaining a stable economy. They have a whole bag of tricks up their sleeves, but their most powerful tool is their ability to create money. Think of them as the wizards of the financial world, conjuring up digital dollars with a few keystrokes. But unlike your shady friend who prints fake 20s in his basement, central banks don't just create money willy-nilly. They carefully monitor the economy and adjust the money supply to keep things humming along smoothly. However, even the best intentions can go awry. When central banks print too much money, it can lead to some nasty side effects like inflation. And trust me, nobody wants to deal with that mess. Remember that old saying, too much of a good thing can be bad for you? Well, it turns out this old adage is especially true when it comes to money. You see, money is a bit like a double-edged sword. While having enough of it can make life comfortable, having too much can lead to serious problems. When a government prints too much money, the value of each individual dollar goes down. This phenomenon is known as inflation. Inflation means that your hard-earned money won't buy as much tomorrow as it does today. Prices for goods and services start to rise, and your purchasing power diminishes. Imagine going to the store and seeing the price of your favorite candy bar double overnight. That's inflation in action. It's frustrating and can make budgeting a nightmare. But wait, it gets worse. Inflation can spiral out of control and turn into something far more dangerous. In extreme cases, excessive money printing can lead to hyperinflation. This is when prices skyrocket at an alarming rate, and the value of money plummets. During hyperinflation, the cost of everyday items can increase multiple times within a single day. People find themselves in a desperate scramble to spend their money before it loses even more value. We're talking about situations where people need wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy a loaf of bread. Hyperinflation can cripple economies, making it nearly impossible for businesses to operate and for people to plan for the future. It can wipe out people's savings, leaving them with nothing despite years of hard work. The financial security that people once relied on can vanish almost overnight. It's a stark reminder that while a little bit of money printing might seem harmless, too much can be a recipe for disaster. The balance is delicate, and the consequences of tipping the scale can be dire. Now you might be thinking, how do we even keep track of all this money floating around? It's a valid question, especially when you consider the sheer volume of transactions happening every second of every day. From buying a cup of coffee to transferring large sums between international banks, the flow of money is constant and complex. Well, economists have a few different ways of measuring the money supply, and they've given them catchy names like M1, M2, and M3. These measures help us understand the different layers of money circulating in the economy, each with its own characteristics and implications. Think of these as different buckets of money. Each bucket represents a different level of liquidity, or how easily money can be accessed and used for transactions. The more liquid the money, the easier it is to spend or transfer. M1 is the smallest bucket and includes the most liquid forms of money, like cash and checking account deposits. This is the money you can access immediately, whether it's the cash in your wallet or the funds in your checking account. M2 is a bigger bucket that includes everything in M1, plus things like savings accounts and money market funds. These are still relatively liquid, but not as instantly accessible as the money in M1. You might need to transfer funds or wait a short period to access this money. And finally, M3 is the biggest bucket of them all, encompassing everything in M2 plus large time deposits and other less liquid assets. These are the funds that are tied up in longer-term investments and are not as readily available for immediate use. These different measures of the money supply help economists understand how much money is sloshing around in the economy and how it might be affecting things like inflation. By analyzing these buckets, they can make informed decisions about monetary policy and economic stability. It's all part of the delicate balancing act of keeping the financial system stable. Understanding M1, M2, and M3 is crucial for policymakers, businesses, and even individuals as they navigate the complexities of the financial world. Hey everyone, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of our new videos. Let's get started! Subscribing is super simple. Just click the red button below. All done? Awesome! And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and tell your friends. See you in the next one. Bye!